1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi, I'm Cody.
And I'm Charlie.
And this week's episode of WX4 features
Necessary Bandwidth, from Tifton to Spain to discover his signal chain.
Well, welcome to the show, Necessary Bandwidth.
Thank you, Cody.
Thank
you, Charlie.
We're going to jump right into the question jar.
Beautiful. What was the first instrument you learned how to play? The bass guitar. But really, I think before then, it was pots and pans on my mom's kitchen floor. Because that's really where you learn stuff,
right.
Percussion and everything. To me, everything's percussive.
Right. So bass, though, that's something that you got. What age?
22.
22. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. What gave you the need to learn that instrument? Did you?
I just wanted to learn something, and it had less strings on it. And
I get that.
I had attempted guitar before in the, in high school or whatever, but just couldn't do anything. I think I could hit the E note with the distortion pedal and make that kind of bumblebee sound, and that was all I could do.
All right. What kind of bass do you have?
When I was 22, I bought a Gibson Grabber.
Nice.
And it was really, really cool.
Nice.
And what happened to it?
It got stolen. I moved up here to Athens maybe 20 years ago or so, and I had some guys redo my roof, and it was kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and they came out there and stole all my equipment. So
that's not good. That's not good. What after bass? What was after bass?
Guitar. Simple guitar, like cowboy chord guitar.
Okay. And at what point did you pick up songwriting then?
Pretty much from the get-go. Because I couldn't, I was unable to really, pick out songs and stuff. And the stuff that I'd want to learn how to play would be like Les Claypool or something,
Right.
And it would just be way beyond my skill ability. But I still would try to learn stuff like that. So finally, I had a book of poems, and I said, well, I'm going to, buy a drum machine and start playing bass, drums, and rap into it.
That's awesome. So, who were your influences? What made you want to actually write songs? Who'd you listen to when you were younger?
In high school, I was kind of a metalhead. I listened to Metallica and stuff like that. And then I think I had one Cure album and a Husker Du album. And but most it was kind of like cheese metal too. I mean, I had some stuff that people won't admit they had, but really did. But then I got into the Smiths, and my world just changed, because, like a line like, and the pain was enough to make a shy bald Buddhist reflect and plan a mass murder, and it not even rhyme, but have like some kind of rhythmical thing to it. And the music was really awesome too. REM, I really liked. A lot of times I didn't know what they were saying in the song, but the phrasing was so good.
Right. Yeah. No.
And that jangle rock is so attractive.
It is.
Oh man, I love it too.
Now you guys have worked together for a while.
We're cut from the same jib, kind of.
Right. You've been working up here at Vega for a while too, doing some recordings and stuff. That's about all I have to say on that.
Oh, okay.
Item.
I've enjoyed coming up here. Y'all kind of let me just come and go like I want, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. He does technical work for us.
Right.
He's done
repairs.
All these microphones are sponsored by Necessary Bandwidth.
He did these mics.
I was a microphone guy at one time for sure.
Well, how'd you get into doing microphones? I mean, because most people get into guitars and amps and pedal boards, and then maybe they buy some PA equipment, and then it kind of stops there. And
I'm kind of fascinated with the signal chain. Like a true analog signal chain would be just you playing an acoustic guitar and singing, no microphones or anything, But I was interested in all the people I really liked. They had all this expensive signal chain kicking, like whether it be a good microphone or a good guitar or whatever. So I was just obsessed with trying to give myself the best tools, and the only way I could get those kind of tools was to make them.
Yeah. Because otherwise that stuff is kind of out of reach.
It's way out of reach for somebody, a home recorder or something.
Mm-hmm.
Those studios, I mean, they have millions of dollars worth of gear in it. But
yeah.
So where were you born? And were you born in Athens?
I was born in Tifton, Georgia, which ironically,
I know where Tifton is.
If you spell it backwards, it's not fit. And I don't mean to bash on my hometown, but I liked it because it's kind of like Watkinsville where I live now or whatever. But there just was no culture there at all. There wasn't when I left high school, there wasn't a movie theater. We had to go to a smaller town, Fitzgerald, to watch movies.
Was the movie theater downtown empty? Was it one of those towns like in the 80s?
It was.
The downtowns were empty, right?
Yeah.
Before the big revival, or maybe they're on their third revival, some towns, but there was a lot of that going on then.
Yeah, there was. I mean, when I was a young kid, there was, but I really enjoyed going to concerts and stuff, so I felt like North Georgia was New York City to me or something, like from where I come from, I remember when I used to come to Athens when I was 18 or 19, people would be having blue hair and all this stuff like that. Yeah. And I thought it was so cool that somebody, that I had never seen that, I mean, some of it can get ridiculous, don't get me wrong, but like for somebody to have that kind of freedom, that gave me hope. Like when I was, I knew I always wanted to be an artist, so I figured they were being artistic in some way by having their hair green,
being able to express themselves.
I commended that, right. and it helped me a lot being up here. But,
so the best thing for an artist to do is to join the Army, right? Like you did.
Exactly.
Now you were in the Army. That's something that happened.
I got it.
How many years you do?
I did. I was in for 2 years. It was the greatest enlistment ever in the world.
Where'd you go?
I went to Hanau, Germany.
Oh,
and
okay.
How I got the sort of greatest enlistment in the world is I'd watched all these Rambo movies and stuff when I was 17, 18, and thought I wanted to like be a grunt and
I'm gonna be a ranger.
Yeah, and then when you get in, you realize you don't like all that stuff. This is real hard all the time. But anyway, I went to the Marines, and I almost signed up with them, but needed a waiver.
Yeah,
and they were kind of dragging their feet about giving me a waiver. So the Army recruiter called me in his office and said, "Hey, I can give you this amount for 2 years," and it was about twice what the Marines were going to give me. So I think I made the great decision.
Yeah.
I was able to go to Europe and hang out, and went to Spain. Spain's the
Did you discover new music?
Coolest place in the world.
Right,
yeah. I met a lot of cats from all over the world, and they, one guy told me about Love and Rockets. I got into them. There was a Depeche Mode guy. I mean, from Tifton, I didn't know. I knew when I left Tifton. I knew. I think what was on the radio was like, Def Leppard or something like that.
Probably some Motley Crue.
Yeah, Motley and Quiet Riot. I mean, it is what it is. I listened to all that stuff. I just kind of moved on from it.
So have you found yourself writing songs about that experience? Have you written anything about your time in Germany?
A little bit. I had a song called Sangria in the Sun. It was when I hung out in Spain, and I don't know if Spain's the same way, but when we went over there, our company stayed for like 7 days, and when you're hanging out on the beach, there's all these people, most of the kids, they're running on the beach with these coolers, and there's like Coca-Cola, Sangria, and everybody's just messed up on Sangria the whole time,
Right.
And it's kind of the thing to do. You see somebody, you see some cute girls or whatever, and ask them if you want to go drink a pitcher of Sangria.
Yeah.
When you're young and good looking, it worked every time.
Yeah.
Right. Well, to close out today's little chat, is there anything you want to say about your performance today of 17,000?
Yes, that was a song I wrote a few years back, and it was on an album called Soundtrack for a Single Wide Trailer Dwelling, and it's just got some tricks in it that I like, and
awesome, cool. All right, well, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Of course.
Thanks for having me, brother.
All right, necessary bandwidth.
Up
Thank
next is his performance of 17,000 next week, same place, same time.
Peace. 1, 2, 3. $2,000 in my hole. Time to sketch, get work. Don't wanna lose the job being got a soul. So I count my pennies for cigarettes and dollar bills up to pay the rent. And there better be money in the bank for the government's check. Better be money in the bank for the government's check. Living off and digging on grits and toast, 69 cents a box, $1.15 a loaf. With a multivitamin, this will do. If I concentrate, the song will come through. Well, it is a time to talk about the blues. Nobody's ever richer than you. Well, it's a time to talk about the blues. Nobody's ever richer